Welcome to Fandom Post Radio. I am Kestrel, and I'm here with Darius.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
This is all we managed to wrangle together after 3 weeks, so this is what you get. We got some news to go over. We got some 3-week-old convention talk to hash out, and we'll see where we go from there. So,
Yay!
Yeah, news. One piece of news that may be good or bad, depending on your thoughts, and one piece of news that is definitely very bad, but weirdly related. So the first one came, I don't want to say dates because I don't know when this will be released, but they were 1 day apart. So the first one was the announcement that the live-action Cowboy Bebop series on Netflix, which I could also talk at great lengths about, has been officially canceled after just one season, less than 3 weeks after it finally premiered, more than 3 years after it was announced. So, yeah.
that was pretty much out of left field. And I know that there was some negative. I got the impression there were mixed reactions. Just judging from general speaking. You had people who were either hardcore anime fans or casual fans that would watch stuff on Adult Swim after 20 years and just casually go, oh, hey. And some people seem to like it more than the anime, go fig, or some people thought it fell short. But in any case, it just did get people talking one way or another. And it definitely sparked a reaction. So this move, honestly, was a bit surprising. I mean, only 3 weeks in, it needs a bit of time to percolate, and
right,
and everything. So, I had my own thoughts about the show. I'm sure you do too. What did you think? How did you feel about the show itself? Go ahead, let it out.
Yeah, I mean, compared to other Hollywood live-action adaptations of anime, not that bad, but I certainly do not think it is a good series on its own, or certainly as an adaptation of one of the greatest works of its medium ever made. So, yeah, not super positive on it overall. I was not disappointed to see this news.
I kind of wanted to see it continue because my favorite characters were Ed and Ein, and we only saw one of them at the end. I'm like, that's it? Really?
Yeah, but that 1 minute of Ed was more than I ever want to see of live-action Ed in my lifetime. Maybe.
But, I as a whole, I thought it was just okay. And people were trying to act like people... fans of the anime were trying to put it on a higher pedestal than it needed to be, and I have to disagree severely on that. And it took me a while to really pinpoint what was the biggest negative for me for Cowboy Bebop, and that it really did. In 1999, when the anime appeared, and if you kind of tend to also look at contemporaries such as Outlaw Star and Trigun, Cowboy Bebop had the absolute best animation, bar none, on TV animation for that time. It was the pinnacle of that. And then you add in the fact that you had Yoko Kanno's music, you had these interesting quirky characters, but the animation really was top notch. Fast forward to this one, and they kind of look okay, but a lot of stuff just looked really cheap.
Oh yeah.
It just did, like, for example, this is one, and I had to go back to this one episode that really hit home for me. The end of the first episode of the anime and the first episode of this one both involved this couple that pretty much gets shot up really bad. And when it happens in the anime, there's a very serious mood, in part by the jazz music that's going on. It really feels serious, and you're kind of feeling bad seeing this go down this way. Whereas in this live action one, it just looked really cheap, and I was like, that's it? Y'all couldn't have done better? I really had that type of thing toward it. I didn't entirely mind some of the changes. They liked that they fleshed out Spike, Vicious, and Julia's thing, but then the way their dynamic plays out in the end, I'm like, who the hell thought this was a good idea? So it's a mixed bag for me. I guess in the same way, I guess the Ghost in the Shell movie was a bit of a mixed bag, but that one had different issues. That one had other issues, so it tried too hard and it missed the mark. But yeah, Cowboy Bebop, I give it a C. It's not one of the it's not the worst anime adaptation ever. But I have definitely seen better. I have definitely seen much better. Battle Angel Alita and Edge of Tomorrow sets such a high bar. And Speed Racer as well, and these things honestly set such a higher bar than what we got here with Cowboy Bebop, and this one didn't quite cut it.
That was actually our last episode, was talking about this topic in general, but like specifically those three Kane brought up and went into great detail about how much he liked those three adaptations. So yeah.
I can't blame them. They're wonderful stuff. And in Japanese adaptations, I also recommend the Rurouni Kenshin movies. If you guys can go check those out. Space Battleship Yamato, I enjoyed the heck out of that. And Go-Go 13, classic with Sonny Chiba, God rest his soul. It was a lot of fun. So, but yeah, that's. So I hate. I'm the type of guy that hates seeing a story left unfinished. So this was a bit of annoying news, but to see it also happen so quickly, I was like, okay, I missed something here. So I don't know. But Cowboy Bebop, yeah, see you, Space Cowboy. I see people keep posting that about it, and it is what it is. I still got my Blu-rays.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I have a lot of thoughts about the live-action adaptation, but at the end of the day, I knew that even if it was an incredible live-action adaptation, that there would be no scenario in the universe where I would not just finish watching it and say anything except, well, I'm never going to watch that again, because why wouldn't I just watch the anime again? It is obviously the best version of the story that will ever exist. So you don't need a live-action version. It's been perfect for 23 and a half years.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I guess before I go into too many thoughts on the live-action series, I'll use that as a segue to the person that, obviously we always credit Shinichiro Watanabe as the director of the series, Yoko Kanno as the composer, both extremely instrumental in making it the masterpiece it was, but the other part of that trinity that I always consider the three most important people in the creation of an anime series is obviously the writer. It is an original anime. The lead writer is an extremely important part of that process. And in a weird twist of irony, I don't know, the writer of Cowboy Bebop and many other extremely notable anime over the years, Keiko Nobumoto, passed away the next day after that news. She was 57, or rather it was announced the next day. She passed away a week and a half earlier. As it tends to be the case for Japanese celebrities, it wasn't revealed until sometime later so that the family could have their privacy. But yeah, she was 57 and lost a battle with esophageal cancer that her colleague Dai Sato, who worked with her on writing scripts on nearly every series that she wrote on, announced on Facebook today as of this recording. So that is extremely sad news. I actually just found out about it when Darius just told me a few minutes ago. So yeah, I'm still kind of reeling from that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was earth-shattering. Actually, we have to credit Lindsay from ANN. She was the first one that posted on Twitter, and we're like, "Holy crap! Okay, that's a credible source to be able to heard one." But yeah, that's that. So I take that as face value. But yeah, it was, and for everybody to understand exactly how influential this woman was, she's worked on the screenplays for Macross Plus, Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy. She was the original creator of Wolf's Rain, and did the screenplay of one of our favorite Christmas movies, Tokyo Godfathers. This woman had a lot of incredible work under her belt, and a lot. Granted, a lot of it's probably older to some of you newer folks right now, but.
She worked on Carol and Tuesday also with Watanabe.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, that's a newer one. Yeah, and Space Dandy.
Yep.
But yeah, it's really, it's very sad that she had to go. Esophageal cancer. I can't even imagine not being able to speak like that. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, wherever you are, they had she apparently passed away on December 1st and had private services. So hopefully she will be resting much easier now till the end of time.
Yeah. I don't know. See you, Space Cowboy, I guess.
See you, Space Creator.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Wow. So, from that on to other fun stuff. I just realized a piece of news that we can definitely talk about that got revealed yesterday as well.
Sure.
This is something that we were going to talk about at from Anime NYC. There's a new film from Mamoru Hosoda called Bell, and they G Kids, who is handling the United States release, is put out an English trailer, and Kestrel and I, we went and saw the film. I think this is his first time. This is my second at seeing it at Anime NYC. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but like from what I can see from the trailer, the dub looks really nice. And they had mentioned during the G Kids panel that a lot of the Japanese music team came and met with the voice actress and spoke with her, worked with her, so that she could sing the songs in English. So it will not be the standard protocol of where they just leave the Japanese vocals in. Like this time, it is English vocals on top of things. And from what I can tell, it sounds like the MIAV Post did a really good job putting this together.
Yeah, NYAV Post always does a great job, and they always put so much work in. And this lead actress, I think she's from theater, as Michael and Stephanie find a lot of people in. And I don't think she's had any sort of screen role in any way, whether on camera or voiceover. So it's exciting.
Yeah, man. I'm actually looking forward. It's finally going to be, I think January 12th is when it's going to hit IMAX. And then it'll hit standard theaters right after that. And I don't know, like, well, let's talk about a little bit about the film. A little bit. What did you think of the film itself? Just without spoiling what this thing is truly about, because hopefully they will not tell you. But what did you just think of it, just from a general perspective?
Yeah. So I really love Tosta's first three independent films, like not franchise based, and I liked his fourth one, Boy and the Beast, a lot. And then I didn't really like Mirai at all. I mean, the fact that it came from Hosoda made my expectations so much higher. So the fact that it was so disappointing, just kind of puts it at a lower level for me just because the bar was so high, even though it's not that bad of a movie. So Belle, at least, was definitely better than Mirai. It still was like the kind of movie that at the end of the day, and it's probably because I'm comparing it to his previous works, but I wouldn't put it on the level of like a great filmmaker like I would with his first 3 or 4. So I think for me, my level of enjoyment, I think it still falls well below those 4, especially the first 3. But yeah, I liked it, sure.
Yeah, same. I think thinking about it, yeah, I definitely liked it better than Mirai. And Wolf Children is my favorite film from Hosoda. And Girl Left Her Time and Summer Wars were about even, like second place. So I think this would be just beneath that, but beneath those 3. But still, I still find it. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than you did, and especially the set. For some peculiar reason, like I've seen this film twice now. Once at NYC and once at a film festival I went to before this AIF festival in LA. And that was the first time I got to see it, and Mr. Hosoda was there. But yeah, I saw
Rub it in.
I'm sorry.
Nah, that's cool.
But yeah, I posted an article you guys can check out about that as well. But like the second time I saw this film, it's like, okay, I kind of got the gist of what the story was really about. The second time I saw it, for some reason, I'm not sure if it was just because of the story or because of how the music winds up fitting in. It just hit me a little harder. I don't understand it, but it just did. It just stayed with me for a bit. And then they did a lot of work on this. Hosoda did at one point he kind of mentions that he had to have 20 people you're going to see these crowd scenes. You're going to see these incredible crowd scenes. He had to have 20 computer experts generate images day and night to create this unique images for this crowd, and he really needed a lot of help just to do that part. I will say that much for it. But Belle is quite unique. Hopefully, like I said, the trailers will not tell you exactly what the story is really about, but it's definitely going to definitely misdirect you. But that's something I enjoy about films. So I was not disappointed in that.
I think, even if I didn't enjoy all the directions it went in quite so much, and maybe I'll enjoy it more on rewatches. I'll certainly watch it more than one time. But yeah, the production values behind it and all the work that was put in by everyone involved, all the collaborators, like Cartoon Saloon worked on it, who did like the Irish folklore trilogy, and the I forget his name, but a Korean-born American animator who worked on a lot of classic Disney stuff and modern Disney stuff.
Oh, hold on. Let me dig up his name.
Might not be Korean-born, just a Korean name, Korean heritage. Anyway, but yeah, you can see that there's a lot of Hosoda's classic trademarks, especially from Summer Wars, as well as a lot of new ideas from all these collaborators around the world. And this, I forget the name of the architecture guy, but they got this architecture expert to design the world, and that's really awesome.
Yes, they really, 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 really went to town on the especially on the architecture aspect. The world building. This is something you really. This is the reason that you really need to see it in the theater. You just sit. I know something. Oh, I got an ACTV at home. There are a couple songs. No. This is like Dune. To be honest,
right?
You really need to watch the scale of what happens here. What's the scale of what the production values really were like to really understand just how much they to understand just how much they really wanted to amaze people. And then of course there is a pretty heartfelt story behind it. You'll hear this. I think the name you're looking for is Jin Kim.
Yeah.
He worked on a lot of Disney features, and he designs Belle here. Eric Wong is the name of the architect who did a lot of the buildingscape. I promise, their work is top notch. I don't expect this to actually get an Oscar nomination, because the one thing I've learned about Oscars is that they generally like domestic work and everything.
But G Kids got him one for Mirai, so they could do it again.
He possibly could. I can honestly say I do understand, however, just from the look alone, he got a standing ovation for 14 minutes from Cannes.
Right.
At the end of the film. And I can honestly say, just from the animation aspect, I completely understand why. It is a hell of a work.
I'm always sad that I live in a state that has no IMAX theaters. Yeah, so, obviously it breaks my heart anytime a blockbuster comes out, any Marvel movie, obviously Dune, and I really wish I could see Belle in IMAX as well, but that's my life. I was in a city when Ghost in the Shell IMAX was out, so I got to see that in IMAX, so that was great.
Yay! That was a fun one. Yay!
Yeah.
We'll have to get you come visit in Atlanta, man. I will get you to an IMAX theater myself, man. I'm gonna get you this. There's one by the Mall of Georgia. It'd be awesome stuff for you. I promise. That's one film we're looking forward to. Let's talk about. Want to talk about the rest of the con, or do you want to hit Pompo first, or what's up, bro?
Sure. I mean, that's a related topic, I guess. That's the other movie I watched at the con on Sunday morning, afternoon, whatever. So, we can talk about that one. That was
a goofball thing. Basically, you have this super hyperactive teen girl type who is commissioned.
Is she supposed to be a teen? Because it seems like she's like 10.
Maybe, I don't know. I was just giving the benefit of the doubt, but she wouldn't surprise me if she were. She's just got that damn much energy. And they go and make her producer of a film, and she jacks this one guy off to the side who's like a production assistant who acts like a Japanese salaryman, and makes him the director. And he kind of carries himself like an overworked salaryman. But he throws himself into this right up to the end. And it's a lot of these really quirky things about the film industry and how things work. Especially both Japan and the United States film industry. I don't know if it's actually going to get a wide release. But I haven't heard them mention one, but I really hope it does. But
they'll probably do a Fathom event. Like, I don't think G Kids gets rights to any film and doesn't try to put it in at least some theaters.
Yeah. Hopefully they will. It's so darn goofy, but like, I can already tell there's like a few sequences that, knowing the people who make AMVs. I can already tell there are clips that are like, oh yeah, this is going in. This is going in. They'll be reusing certain clips from this film, big time. I can already see it.
Mm-hmm.
I just really did enjoy the heck out of Pompo though. How do I put it? the thematic opposite of Belle, in a way, I guess. One's super happy, the other gets kind of serious. This was a really goofball film. And in some ways, everybody will find a character to relate to during this. You got the actress who may or may not want to be an actress at the time. You got couple of slimeball type head honchos, stuff like that, and through it all, they work to make this movie work. And whether it does or not is something you have to see for yourself. But yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of Pompo. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it is a much weaker film than Belle, but I like it a lot more. It is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine because I am exactly the sucker for this film because I love film, I love the film industry, I love Hollywood, and this was just catnip for all of that. So I just ate it all up. Yeah, I don't think it's a particularly good film. I think in the context of what it says about film, even, it wouldn't hold up to its own standards. But as, like, an experiment, as a celebration of film and the film industry, and, like, as if it were an extra on a Blu-ray that, like, yeah, this doesn't stand on its own as a proper feature film, but this is just the shit that I love. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that movie.
Yeah. I hope it, I think it's listed as one of the ones that is being considered for Oscar nomination. I think.
Yeah, G-Kids submits everything.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I saw the listing for, I think there's like about 38 titles that are actually up for Oscar consideration. I'm pretty darn certain I saw Pompo listed as one.
Yeah, I think there are 6 anime movies on the list. Yeah.
Yeah, give me some good times there.
I hate that Mirai got a nomination. Like, because Mirai got one, I want Belle to get one, just because I don't want Jose's worst movie to be the only one that gets one. But I hate that Mirai got one after his first 4 didn't, and of course it's because G-Kids had it. I hate that no Shinkai movie has ever gotten one. It's awful.
Yeah, they're pretty much they're 2 of the foremost directors of the modern generation, and yeah, it's kind of sad not to see them get a bit of love here.
And it's the same deal. Like, I thought Weathering with You would have a better chance than Your Name because G-Kids got it, but the timing just didn't work out when they released it in theaters. It was not going to work out with Oscar season. So I think that, yeah, we'll see what happens. But Your Name, obviously, I mean, of course it deserved an Oscar nomination. Like, that year, the fact that there was no anime on the list, like, we had Your Name, A Silent Voice, and In This Corner of the World all in the same year, and none of them got any Oscar consideration. It's like, Jesus Christ. But none of them were, I mean, especially the 2 that I would want, which is Your Name and A Silent Voice. Your Name was released by Funimation, who has no Oscar pull, and A Silent Voice was unlicensed for years, so it never had a shot. So, yeah, it's all stupid politics, and it's not like any of them are ever going to win again after Spirited Away, so it's always going to be a Disney movie, a Pixar movie, or if some other surprise masterpiece comes out of Hollywood, like Spider-Verse, then at least the right movie will win when that happens.
Yeah, Spider-Verse already looked pretty darn crazy, so it's like, this is going to be a 2-part movie, so... Like,
yeah, I'm so excited.
Oh, wait. Let's see. Yeah, Funimation has Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish. That's one of the ones that's going to be up. Pompo the Cinephile, Pupil of Chimney Town. I saw that at the festival, which was not bad. What else?
See, the irony is that even though Pompo might be the worst one up for submission, it's going to be, catered to all of these Hollywood industry professionals who are probably going to eat it up. So it doesn't have a 0 chance. It has an extremely low chance. I think either absolutely none of these will make it or Bell will make it. No chance of any of the rest of them. But
I kind of have to agree, unfortunately. Fortune favors Lady Yukiko definitely will not. It was okay, but definitely not their standards. Summit of the Gods. Very sadly, that will not make it, but it's a hell of a film. I will say that. I saw that at the LA Festival, and it's directed by a French man about mountain climbing. It's an adaptation of a Japanese manga, and honestly, it's the closest thing to a Satoshi Kon film I think I've seen in a long time. Guy did a really good job. Yeah, this guy did a really good job doing this film. It was like, out of a lot of the films I saw at the festival, this was one that really stuck with me. And the guy said he actually did study Cohn's style before doing this project. I was like, okay, yeah, it shows. So, but yes, I'm sorry about that. We're veering away from anime mercy. We're sorry, folks. I'm sorry.
God, it just hit me that both the writer and director of Tokyo Godfathers are dead now. What the fuck?
God, yeah, that hurts.
Yeah.
And they were both genius talents, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, God. See, now I'm going to have to go watch that again. Well, of course, it is.
'Tis the season.
Yeah, it is, you know? Also, the drag queen is still like one of the greatest anime characters I've ever seen. So
absolutely, and another excellent NYAV post dub where they got an actual trans actress to voice her.
That's right. They did that right before the new the recent Blu-ray this year.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's gonna be fun. So yeah. We've been hitting the movies here. What else do we want to talk about from the con?
Yeah, I can talk about whatever.
Let's see. Well, how about trying to get into the con?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's start at the beginning. Yeah. If you went there, if you're going there hoping for walk-up tickets, you were shit out of luck. This thing did cap attendance. They apparently sold 53,000 tickets, according to the con runner Peter Tessara. And I remember, I came to New York the night before. I'm just standing inside Midtown Comics. I kept hearing, like, nope, we're sold out. Nope, we're sold out. Nope, we're sold out. I just walk up to the guy, like, yeah. Why are you selling out? I was like, oh, there's some anime convention here, and everybody keeps trying to get tickets. They're really dying to get in, but I keep telling them we sold out of completely everything. And actually, in my time of dealing with cons and big cons and stuff, this is like a kind of pretty much a first for me.
I didn't even realize that they capped it. Yeah,
it was like you either had a choice of a 3-day or a single day, and then after that you had to. I guess mind management crews were a bit rusty, to put it mildly. Oh Jesus! Because even if you got there like about 9 o'clock or 10. Fortunately, the events of the con didn't start till about 1. Right. A lot of panels didn't. But still, if you got there about 9, 10, you were still out there for about 3 or 4 hours in cold, windy weather. The cold, windy equivalent of an Anime Expo line. And because this thing snaked around and around and around, and I was pressed, and I was like, is there a press store or something like that? And nobody seemed to know what I was talking about. And I had to call up a couple of friends. Like, could y'all tell me what a press store is? Because I'm about to die. And after like 45 minutes, so I finally somebody got me hooked up. But you said you got the full treatment.
Yep, I was out there for 3 hours. Yep.
Jesus, my friend. Yeah, it was like kind of a mixture of 2 different factors. One, the line management. Like all you saw were event staff that belonged to the Javits Convention Center, and they didn't exactly know what the people who were having control of the actual convention itself, who were con volunteers, they were not entirely on the same page as far as line management went, and it kind of faltered and got back together a few times. So there was that aspect, and then there was also the fact that you had to like show vaccination proof when you got to the door, and it was not just having a mask wasn't enough. You actually had to show proof of either a test or a prior vaccination.
Which is good. I don't even think they took a test at this one. I think they insisted on actual vaccination, right?
Yeah.
Which is great. And New York was great about that. The whole time I was there, every single place we went into required proof of vaccination.
Yeah.
So good on them.
Yeah. And I know people are kind of freaking out about the Omicron thing, to the point where Stephen Colbert is now joking about Anime NYC now, everything. But apparently, from what I've read, you had this gentleman who went there. He came from Minnesota. He had it at some point, but he actually had been vaccinated as well.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how his friends had caught it from him. And the thing is, well, somebody posted this bit where apparently he and his friends had went to karaoke after one night at the con, and were severe close contact that whole time, and that may have been where it had kind of festered a bit for other people. Because I actually wound up not getting it, and I had this friend of mine. He also came from Atlanta. He's been tested 6 times, and he didn't have it at all.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that aspect really spread as alarming as it may seem, but like it didn't spread as bad as quite people might think.
The only significance was that it was the second U.S. case of Omicron. But the fucking media frenzy, like all of these sites were calling it a super spreader event within an hour of an announcement that literally one person got COVID. That is the opposite of a super spreader. Yeah, it's kind of
annoying. Yeah. And a lot of people were really good about staying in masks, and
people were great.
They were nice about it. I mean, they were like, no, we don't want this. We don't want to cast this crap either. Oh, mask. I got an extra mask, but I'll talk about that later. Mask, left and right. But like, if so Friday was a bit of, I hate to say it was a bit of a clusterfuck, but it was. If you were in that line.
Anime NYC has publicly apologized for all of that. They have taken all the blame. Yeah.
In fact, later that night, they posted about it. They say, okay, this is the protocols we're going to follow for managing the line Saturday and Sunday. Go to this point or this point. And they actually tried to communicate with everybody about it, and so that the lines were nowhere near as bad. Because I saw a lot more people inside on Saturday and Sunday than I did on.
They still weren't great though, and they I know people. I used my press badge at that point because I was like, "Fuck this." But
me too.
But I had friends who were still out there for like an hour on Saturday morning, so they definitely did better, but not as good as they should have. And after like a week or two after the con ended, Peter Tatara posted a public statement that, hey, we really fucked up this entire thing, and we're really sorry. So at least they acknowledge it.
I've seen people that just act like it never happened. It's like, oh, it's just a standard con thing. I'm like, really? I've seen shows. So definitely kudos to them for actually trying to, apologize and actually try to make good on. Hopefully they'll make good on some things for people who wound up not being able to see much of the con as a result. But once you actually got inside the con, I would have to say programming was pretty good.
The One Piece thing, that was insane, which they also acknowledged in that public statement.
Whoops! You went to that, right?
Yeah, I got in. I got into the first room. I got my little coin and everything.
Go for it, man. No, tell me about it, because I booked, man. I was like, I'm tapping out. I need food. What did you grab out of it?
So the line for that started 5 hours early, and they had already, like, capped a room, like 3 or 4 hours early, and by the time I got around to checking out the line, which was probably, I don't know, at least 2 hours early, it was just this mass of people snaked out into this octopus line formation down every single hallway of the convention center, upstairs and escalators on across every floor. Is just the entire convention center was trying to get into what they put in not the main hall, because that was for Masquerade. So it was, you know, a room for, like, I don't know, a few hundred people, maybe 1,000 people at most. And it was like most of the convention trying to get into it. And, you know, hours early, they were already at the point where, you know, it was borderline riot. And they had to, I mean, the volunteers, and I don't even know, I feel like some of them were in different uniforms. Some of them might have been actual convention center staff. But the guys that were trying to deal with this, they were troopers, man, because they were dealt a shit hand and they were doing their best and they were working real hard. Mm-hmm. So they, you know, came up with an impromptu system to do wristbands for this event, which was not planned. And the people who, you know, had already been in a room that was capped didn't have to do that because it wasn't part of the plan. But since there were just so many people in this giant cluster, they just started, like, breaking people off into lines and giving them wristbands to come back in a few hours. And there were different colors of wristbands to come back at different times. And, you know, this continued for all the hours leading up to it. And then maybe an hour before it started, they were already at the point where they're like, all right, we've added, like, 3 new rooms to screen this. Some of them are going to be later. We're just emptying out all of our rooms, and after every room is empty, we're just going to show it in, like, every room we can, because everyone wants to be there. And even then, they had to cap it, like, an hour before the earliest one started, and turn away, like, thousands of people. Like, there were still just, like, an endless sea of people that they had to turn away at that point.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so that was insane. For literally, I mean, I was excited to be part of this event, and I'm glad I did, because this was a very fan servicey episode 1000, and a giant, not that kind of fan service, but, like, this is for the fans who have been watching One Piece for 1,000 episodes, and it is exactly the kind of environment that you want to watch that episode with, or that episode was like. You know, you got 1,000 hardcore One Piece fans who fucking fought to the death to get in here. Those are the guys you want to watch this episode with. The energy was really great. So that was a lot of fun. But all of this to say that all of these thousands of people fighting for hours to try to get into this event is literally just to watch an episode of a show that airs every week that they could have already watched on Crunchyroll before the event even began at the con. So, yeah, it's pretty insane.
And as I understand it, they announced something?
So, this was announced, like, around the same time. So, like, you know, people could have already seen it online. But, yeah, with episode 1000, a new One Piece film was announced, which I guess I could have covered in the news. So, yeah, that was exciting. It's going to focus on Shanks, which is interesting because he is a character that they can't really do that much with because he's very important and very enigmatic in the story proper. You can't really do that much with that character, I wouldn't think. But it's going to be something to do with him and, you know, some new character with a music theme, and I think they're going back to the, like, they title them One Piece film something when Oda, the creator, actually writes the film. So he didn't do that for the last one that was released, but this one is called One Piece Film Red. So, and I think they confirmed that he's back to write it. So that's definitely exciting because, you know, that when they did One Piece Film Strong World in 2009, not only did that kind of, like, give One Piece its final boost to become, like, the eternal biggest thing ever, But it also kind of revolutionized how they do films for Shonen Jump manga adaptations, where the creators are very heavily involved. They have these huge tie-ins within the series itself. It's like this really high-profile production, because before Strong World, they were all pretty much just like shitty little short one-off filler stories that you can just completely ignore and nobody really cares about. So yeah, this is kind of the return to what Strong World had established in the One Piece franchise and really the entire industry. So yeah, it's definitely an exciting thing, and everything about episode 1000 and all the celebrations around it were very cool to see. So yeah, that was fun. I'm glad I got in. Sorry to everyone who didn't, but yeah, I'm sure in retrospect they sure wish that they had put that in the main hall.
Yeah, I think that was opposite the costume contest, or...
Yeah. Which I guess is always on Saturday night and always in the main hall, so that's the deal. But like, because after I got my wristband to get into One Piece, and I had like a few hours to kill, and I was just hanging out in the area so that I didn't get fucked over when they finally let people in. It was right near where the main hall is, so I looked over there and there's no one in line. Like, you know, they probably mostly filled the room, but normally you'd have people like still filing in, people waiting, people, you know, just hoping that they can get an opening. But I feel like they probably had a lot more people trying to get in to watch an episode of One Piece than to go to the masquerade.
Wow. Yeah. That's probably true. And I don't know how they could have actually handled it, to be honest. And in fact, that's like the second screening I heard about that, although it's not quite as big of a scale as the one I had to deal with. Actually, I'm sorry. The one I had to deal with is a much smaller scale. I'm sorry, it's a much smaller scale than the One Piece screening. I went and tried to get into the Lupin, this new Lupin special that was being put on primarily by TMS Entertainment. And once again, it was underestimated how many people were trying to get into this screening. Because they normally then this would normally be a correct calculation. You have a smaller panel room for a video screening, as opposed to a bigger panel room for voice actor panels. They tend to attract more people, but that's not happened in this case, and I can honestly pinpoint why. There is one factor that I don't think anybody quite took into account. If you went into this particular Lupin screening, they premiered a new dub for one of the films, but also you would be one of the few people to have a Lupin III mask. It's an exclusive mask. I guarantee you that one aspect is what everybody was trying to get to. Lupin specials are fun and everything, but I'm pretty sure they really wanted that one exclusive item.
And that might have been the same with One Piece, because they gave out this exclusive, pretty nice challenge coin, which I don't really get the challenge coin thing, but it's a nice little coin. So I can see a lot of people going for that.
Yeah, keepsakes. They just want, woo, hey, you ain't up on this, man. I got this. Yeah.
Okay.
So that, that and crowd energy. Crowd energy is always fun.
Yeah.
The Lupin thing. I went and got pictures of this. The voice cast was there, as well as this very lovely Fujiko cosplayer. Good God. And
actually, so Sentai has the new Lupin the Third, which is super weird. And they have a podcast, and they have been going through like a few episodes for each series that they want to highlight. So they had a few episodes for Lupin in the past few months, and one of them was with that cosplayer.
Ooh, I will have to go find that.
Listen to that.
Ooh, yep. Thank you. I think I'll listen to that now. And what else? I actually won a prize. They asked trivia questions, and I reflexively answered one of them and got some Goemon stuff.
Nice.
Question being, what is Goemon's catchphrase? There is something he likes to say.
Cut a worthless object, whatever the translation wants to call it.
Yep, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Once again, I cut a worthless object. And whatever he's cutting just falls apart.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, yeah, I got some stuff off of that. That's fun. But, yeah, we got some trinkets. Got a towel and an action figure, something like that.
Nice.
So yeah, did you get to see? So yeah, we each got to see one screening, and then the dual screenings. What else did you get to see, bro?
So I didn't watch anything else at the convention itself. I watched another anime film in the city right after the convention ended. But yeah, I think that mostly covers my highlights of the convention, other than the My Hero Academia concert.
Oh, dude, tell me about that.
That was really great. That was my highlight of the con easily, which is good because I got to do almost nothing else on Friday. So, and that was a something that was announced like less than a week before the con, and it was announced, and then a few hours later the tickets went up, and you didn't have to like pay for them, but they were gone within 6 minutes of going up. So I wasn't even aware that this concert even existed until after the tickets were already gone. But I have friends who got extra tickets, so I got in anyway, and I'm very happy that I did because, like I said, it was the best part of the con for me. So yeah, it was, a full live concert, and they brought over the composer of My Hero Academia, which is a big deal because like him and Aramaki at this con are basically the only two really prominent Japanese anime guests at any conventions since the pandemic that I'm aware of. So that's pretty major. And so the music for My Hero Academia, for those who don't know or haven't really paid that much attention to it, is basically all orchestra and rock simultaneously. And so they had to emulate that with a live performance, and the band, the video game orchestra, is kind of the ideal candidate for that because they, like the name suggests, they have an orchestra, but their centerpiece is a rock band, and they play in tandem just like the music of My Hero Academia, and they are based in Boston, but the guy who's like the head of the band is Japanese, and they've worked with like the Final Fantasy live concert series, and they've worked in anime itself. Like Kevin Penkin had them record music for the soundtrack of Rising of the Shield Hero. So they're very deeply connected to not only video games but anime. And yeah, so they put on this performance. It was really great. They had, like scenes from the anime for each song as they played it. And then for like the encore, they brought on the composer who had already introduced it and gave a few anecdotes and stuff. But for the last few songs, they had him come on and play piano for the songs, which was awesome. And then they had, so for the final song, it was what anyone would expect the final song to be, because the second half of season 4 of My Hero Academia is a school festival arc, and it's mostly slice of life that's preparing for and building up to the, I think, final episode of that arc. So like the third to last episode of the season, which is the big musical performance that the main class puts on. And so it's this big spectacle, and they had this great original song that they made for it, sung by an American singer, and they didn't have her there, but they had Amanda Lee, who is a prominent, she got her start singing English covers of anime songs on YouTube, which she still does, but she has since become a successful anime voice actress as well. and she was a guest at the convention, so they brought her on to do the vocals for that song. And of course, they played the video of the performance in the show itself as they performed the song. So yeah, it was just really great. The orchestra, the rock band, the composer, the animation timed with it, and the vocals that they got as well. Really great concert all around. So I was really happy with that.
Awesome. I don't know very much about My Hero Academia. I saw my first film at the film festival prior to that, so I know very little about it, to be honest. So I was like, I remember you were talking about it. You were like super stoked. Like, I gotta hear about this thing. But yeah, it sounds like it was a really awesome concert and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't think I got to. I didn't see any concerts. I think I pretty much went panel hopping from one to the next to the next to the next.
Yeah, I had a pretty good division of my days. So one thing I'll say about Anime NYC, which I probably mentioned before, is normally at conventions I spend a lot of time getting autographs, and at Anime NYC, in 2019 they started just having a lottery system for their free scheduled autograph sessions, and then they had a lot of guests who would just come and do paid autographs.
Right.
And then this year it was kind of extended a little further, I guess in part because basically all their guests were it really pains me to say this, but the guys who dub over a character in English are the guys who can charge $50 for their autograph, while the actual creators of the anime will do it for free and get a fraction as many people lined up to see them. It's really disheartening. But because of that, because of the pandemic and everything, they only got one Japanese guest who they had do any signings. So Aramaki was the only one in the lottery system, and everyone else you had to pay money for, which I have no interest in doing, especially since they're all just English voice actors who I've seen at 1,000 conventions. So, it's disappointing, especially so 2019, they had Tomino. So I entered the lottery. I didn't win any of the lottery. Thankfully, again, I have a lot of good convention friends at this point. So one of my friends, he didn't get multiple. You can't get multiple, but he got his Tomino signing, and he was able to sneak in a second signing to get me a Shikishi signed by Tomino, and got a picture of him holding it and everything. And awesome. Tomino's got a great autograph. He draws Haro in it and everything. So yeah, that was pretty great. But this year it was nobody that I cared about. I respect Aramaki a lot, but I don't particularly like anything that he's done. So I was fine with skipping out. And yeah, like I said, the English voice actors I wouldn't care to pay money for. So it's disappointing when they have, guests like Tomino, who I would love to get an autograph, and I hate the lottery system above all else, because no matter what system you have, even paid autographs, no matter what, any other system, if you care enough, you can guarantee yourself an autograph. With a lottery, that's not the case. And so you get fucked over, even if it's your number one priority in the world. And some guy who might not really give a shit might get an autograph instead of you, and that's awful. So I hate the lottery system, and they should remove it forever, and everything about it is awful. But when they're guests that I don't care that much about, but I would get an autograph at a normal convention, the fact that I don't spend my time waiting in line for autographs that I may or may not get does give me a kind of sense of liberation that, I get to spend all my time, actually doing stuff. Because autographs at this point are you wait in line for an hour or two, and if you're lucky and the line doesn't get cut, then that gets you, 15, 30 seconds in front of a guest writing their name and trying to sell you stuff. So, I like a lot of the autographs I've gotten, especially from actual Japanese creators. Super cool. But yeah, having a convention experience where there's a lot of cool stuff going on, and I know that I'm not going to just waste time in a line for a few seconds, is nice for a change, I guess. So yeah, my weekend was kind of split up where I guess Friday was main events. I only went to the concert and the Attack on Titan event, which were both in the main events. And, I checked out the dealer's room, obviously, because there wasn't that much else going on. Saturday, all industry panels, and then One Piece. I went to 4 industry panels in a row, then the ANN panel, which is, industry-adjacent journalism panel, and then One Piece, which is not an industry panel, but it's put on by Crunchyroll. It's part of their whole event there, so it's kind of related. And then Sunday, I went to one event with some voice actors. These 3 voice actors who are all very prominent in anime and video games and some Western animation. They have like a sketch comedy troupe together, and they go to a lot of conventions, especially Anime NYC, and they put on a good little improv. I should have said improv troupe. They put on a little improv show that's a lot of fun. But after that, I watched 2 anime films that I had never seen before. I want to say the at least East Coast premiere of both, back to back, and then that was basically the end of the con. And then right after that, I went to the AMC Times Square, and I saw the Gintama finale movie on its first night of its Fathom event as well. So yeah, that was my Sunday, was all watching anime movies. So interesting division of my weekend there.
Very cool. Let's see, my let's see, how did I? Well, what? See, now you got me thinking, what the heck did I do at the con? Okay. First off, I went and saw Mr. Aramaki, Shinji Aramaki's. He actually wound up more or less having to do 2 panels of sorts. It was one that was specifically named for him, a Shinji Aramaki panel, and then the next one was the Animego panel. And the reason that this took place was that the Aramaki, he basically spent the entire panel telling about his long-time career. He had been he had been a mecha designer as young as age 22 for a lot of stuff that was famous in the United States, and then went on to become an actual anime director after that. So yeah, he talked about having worked on like Transformers. There were characters he made for something called Microman, and then he'll look up and think, and basically if they like a design, he got like $10,000 yen for it, but then the design company would take back for 3,500 out of that. So it's like he actually created like Soundwave and I think Perceptor and Reflector, and then the Hasbro came and got those designs and renamed them for the Transformers. And he talked about that, and we talked about working on stuff like Mask and Pole Position. Also, when he actually got a chance to work on Genesis Climber Most Beta, which Americans would know as the 3rd segment of Robotech. They came to him and said, "Hey, we really want something that like that Macross Valkyrie plane." So he came up with the Alpha Fighter, and he also had a giant addiction to motorcycles, so he invented the Cyclone Rider as well at that point. And I think he was about 22, and eventually he got a chance to move to LA, do some work there for a lot of different shows, Mask, Visionaries, stuff like that. And eventually he moved back, and he got a chance to be a director, first on Maddox 01, which is one of the reasons why Animego brought him over. So because they did a Kickstarter, And if you got a high enough tier, they were going to have Mr. Aramaki go and do corrections on the original Maddox 01 that he has all wanted to do for a very long time. So that will be how the final Blu-ray will look.
Interesting.
And it'll be coming out in February that they had to push back. And also Robert Woodhead, who was the owner of Animego, he came to the panel, and there's this gigantic poster that they created just for this Kickstarter that you can add to it and everything. And they showed that at the panel. And so he talked about also working on Appleseed, the first Appleseed CG movie. He came in, hated what he saw of it, and ripped it apart and started from scratch and wound up doing three films. And he's been kind of addicted to the whole era of CG animation as opposed to cell animation. He's kind of more gravitated more toward that on other projects like Ultraman and Blade Runner. Yeah. And he is not doing Ultraman Season 2. He's apparently just an overseer, but he's not directing Ultraman Season 2, but they did announce that. But he said he couldn't say who the director is yet. But he does believe it's going to be a good project. But he talked about really liking working with Kenji Kamiyama. They've known each other for like 20 years, and they just keep bouncing ideas back and forth. And like I said, he did this first panel. The thing is, though, we're fairly certain that they cut the panel short because I think he was under the impression that he had more time. So when they did to the Animego panel on Saturday, it was, Mr. Woodhead talked about Animego projects for like about 5 minutes, and then he turned over the panel so that you can ask Aramaki anything you wanted about his career. Nice. And so there are a few questions about Animego, but like it was mostly about Aramaki himself and everything. Okay, so
Crunchyroll also brought him onto their panel, by the way.
Yeah,
to talk about Blade Runner. Yeah.
Have you caught that show yet?
No, I haven't actually watched any Blade Runner.
Okay, not just okay. That's fair.
I know I need to.
It's okay, dude. I'm not that type of guy that says, "Oh, unless you watch Star Trek and Star Wars Episode 50 times, you're not a real sci-fi man." No, you'll never hear that crap from me, bro. So, if you want to check it out, it's cool, But I recommend it, but I will never rag on you for it. I will never do that to you, bro.
Thanks. I'll watch it one day for sure. I'll definitely watch at least the original and 2049 one of these days.
Groovy, my friend. What else did I do that day? I know I did something else. I went to that panel on Friday, and then I went to I went to the AMV contest, and that was fun. There's like a lot of stuff that I think they ran a pretty decent AMV contest, although I think a couple of entries were a little miscategorized, possibly. But you went in like a lot of the other places, fill out your ballot, drop it off at the end, and you can actually learn about some pretty cool music videos that are out there, probably on the animemusicvideos.org at this point. And so I went to the next day. I went to the. I want to make certain I get this particular panel name right. Black Trailblazers in Anime, presented by Noir Caesar. It's a mix of different voice actors. Zeno Robinson, I believe he's from My Hero Academia.
Yep.
Anaris Quiones. I have to go back and see what she did. I know she's been doing good work.
Yeah, she's also in My Hero Academia and a bunch of other stuff.
Let's see. AJ Beckles and Arthel. I think AJ Beckles is a clothing designer that's been working.
No, he's a voice actor. He might do other stuff, but he's a voice actor for sure.
Oh, he is? Also, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. One of them was talking primarily about designing clothes and working with Viz to get a good brand and put his stuff out. And then there's Arthel Issam. He who others may know him a little bit better as one of the first black people to go and create his own anime studio. He's called Dart Citagio. And he actually went and created his own anime studio in Japan and everything that he went through to do that. So it was really fun listening to their stories, their experiences for a whole hour, and some of the stuff they've actually been put through. So I went to that panel. Then I went to the Aramaki panel. And then I jumped right to the Lupin screening, which, like I said, it was a little over capacity. Okay, way over capacity. Ran into Mike too. I was like, dude, come on in. Like, nah, I can't do this. This is just too damn long, man. I'll see you there. Like, okay, cool. And I think right after that was the Anime News Network panel where I finally caught up with you. Oh, I think we talked. Oh no, wait, it was the G Kids panel. The G Kids panel is where I ran into you again.
Yep.
And also at the tail end of the Dark Horse panel. Oh yes, we forgot to mention something really cool Dark Horse did.
Yeah.
Please tell me the name of the artist.
Kentaro Miura.
Thank you, because I'm not going to forget. Kentaro Miura. He had passed away earlier this year, pretty much from overwork, apparently. And they did. Dark Horse brought a giant card that everybody could sign to say thank you for this man's incredible work and everything. And it was just basically a giant wall that you could walk up and sign this thing on. And did you get to make it to that?
I saw it. I didn't really know what to write, so I left it alone. But it was very nice to see. Yeah,
it was really cool. We caught the tail end of the panel that Carl Horn was hosting, everything. And then right after that, it was the G Kids panel. We were learning about their release plans for some of the upcoming stuff. Let's see. Yeah, we talked about the Bell thing. We talked about Pompo. What else did they talk about? They talked about a good deal of things at the G Kids panel. I'll probably have to write up a lot more on my own write up here. But
I went to Yen Press, Dark Horse, G Kids, and Crunchyroll, and they were all just kind of generic industry panels.
Mm-hmm. Oh, one thing that you guys will definitely be wanting to hear about. There was one prominent license that G Kids put out recently, all of Evangelion, onto a Blu-ray, and so there came a question about the Evangelion reboot films because they're currently on Amazon. They said they have no plans for it right now. So we don't know who has that license or if they're having to keep mum and say about it. Mm-hmm. It's but like, sooner or later we're going to try to find out who has this damn film after 10 years and just complete the bloody story. Arg. Until then, you can cancel.
At least it's on Amazon.
Yeah, you
I was
cancel Amazon.
Not expecting to be able to stream it just a few months after the Japanese release. That's awesome. I was really happy about that.
That was something that this has been one crazy year of releases. Stuff that we never thought we'd ever see. Evangelion, Future Boy Conan, Macross Plus in theaters. This, and I don't know. We still have Discotech has their next panel coming up on Monday, so who knows what they'll have. Just to break our wallet. They talked about the Deer King. That was one I got to see. I have to warn y'all, it's not a very action oriented movie. If you guys get to see it, it's kind of like Princess Mononoke, a spiritual cousin to Princess Mononoke, but less actiony, but with the same length. That's as much as I can describe it.
Everyone involved in that film makes me really excited for it, so I really hope I like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a decent film. Just temper your expectations on the action aspect. I will warn you that part. I will warn you that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't need action.
Okay. Groovy. Let's see. So yeah, I went to G Kids. What else did I go to after that? Apparently I went. Okay, yeah, I went to the. Oh, they did answer one other thing that some people may ask about. The G Kids was doing these limited edition giant boxes of certain of their Ghibli films. I think they did one for Spirited Away, one for Totoro, one for Princess Mononoke, and then they kind of veered away just doing steel books. And apparently they said they said the reason they did that was steel books are better for retail space, and there's only so much approved materials. They may return to doing limited editions one day, but not right now. You're gonna probably just gonna be seeing steel books, and that'll be it for a while. So that will probably be of interest to some of you Ghibli collectors.
Did you just mention that one because I asked that question?
I just happened to write this out. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. I just took notes. I forgot to credit that.
No, that's fine. That's just it happened to be the question that I asked.
Okay, so, yeah. Oh, that was you. Okay. Yeah. We went to the ANN panel, learned a little bit about from them how their operation works and some of the controversies Mike Toole, Chris McDonald, and Lindsay Leverage have run across over the years. And people try to ask about what they can do to get involved, things like that, to connect. So yeah, after that, I booked out because I wanted to. I needed to see New York for a few minutes, and I just wanted to try some New York food. And I wound up trying to go to 2 Korean restaurants. The first one says it's called Let's Meet or Just Meet, one of the two. And it's apparently an all-you-can-eat thing. Thing is, though, you have to be with somebody, or else you can't go in by yourself because it's an all-you-can-eat place. I'm like, great. My status as a single guy is working against me again. So, after
just to really rub it in for you.
Yeah, New York gets its Carrie Bradshaw moment on me. I don't know, frag. So yeah, I went across the street, this thing called, I think, Love's Barbecue or something like that, and sat outside, ate. And, I was like, yeah, that's pretty good stuff. And so yeah, next day came and ran across you, bro, and we went movie watching, and a lot of the crowd situation seemed to be handled much better at this point.
Yeah, and these were ticketed events as well. They were in the lottery system, so you didn't have to pay for them, but it was a limited supply, and you had to have wristbands, which came in pairs, which made it very easy for me to get wristbands for anything I wanted to see. But that is why it worked out a lot better than like the Sunday East Coast premiere at the previous Anime NYC 2019, where they had Weathering with You. And I got in, but there was a whole big clusterfuck after me trying to get in that was not able to. So It was probably the right call to make this a little more limited and make sure that people had their wristbands ahead of time.
Oh yeah, I remember. I was at the I was at that thing too with Umbrella. That was a goofball thing afterward. Screenings and picture taking, and then went out to Times Square, and I just couldn't stop taking pictures, and we're walking around, and I don't know, it was, this is my time to be a star. Yeah, I just quoted Ben May on y'all. Yeah, you can't do anything about it. I'm way over in Atlanta. Come get me. All right. Oh, wait, Kate could go in and edit that out. Okay. Kate, if you really want to edit that out, go ahead. Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize to you because, you're mighty Kate. Okay. Let's see. I think that more or less put a cap on, Anime NYC. Ups and downs aside, would you say we had fun?
Yeah. Other than the line on the first day, I pretty much enjoyed the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's, It's the first. It's like one of the first big events besides Otakon to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And actually have industry presence. Actually, at their show. So a little bit of rusty. They figure it out. They'll figure it out for next year. But I think if you were able to get inside and enjoy the kind there really was a lot of stuff to do. They'll probably fine tune attendance and program settings, things like that for next year. But I trust Peter, Tatara. I trust Lance High School. I think those guys they're out putting on a good show. So I think things will be better for 2022. On that,
is Lance involved in putting on this?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's
interesting.
Yeah, he's gone from Funimation man to he's one of the main players over at Anime NYC. He's doing his thing up there. So yeah, I ran into him and he was like, yeah, chaos, we still need to drink, So that may happen one day. So that was the end of the con. So what else? What else did you want? What else did you want to hit this giant long laundry list?
It was a very busy weekend. Like almost all of this was from that weekend.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. We have Cowboy Bebop that weekend. God.
Yeah.
Had a Blade Runner event. What else you got on there, bro?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else here that you want to talk about or hear about or anything.
Well, let's see. I haven't caught up to JoJo, so I can't really comment on it other than the fact that everybody's gone crazy for it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves it. I still haven't seen Arcane. Everybody was talking about that. Well, any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I was gonna, if it wasn't brought up in the episode proper, which I wasn't really expecting it to be because it's not related to anime at all.
Okay.
But I was still gonna bring it up in our recommendations at the end. So I'll just do that now.
Go ahead.
So watch Arcane because it's like the greatest show ever, even if you don't give a shit about League of Legends, and I sure don't give a shit about League of Legends, and it's still the greatest show ever. It is just that good. So everyone go watch it right now. It's amazing.
I will go check that out myself. May I take one of these for the recommendation here as well? Yeah,
sure.
For this list. Yeah. Okay, Hawkeye. I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
It's fun.
It's a lot of it's great. I'm glad we finally get to learn about Clint Barton as a person. People keep asking, why does Hawkeye get? Why the heck does he deserve a solo project? And much like Black Widow, we learned very little about these characters during the previous films. And Iron Man, Cap, Thor all got 3 films and everything. I'm finally learning about Clint Barton. I didn't know if I couldn't even tell if they actually had ever addressed his hearing impairment. They finally show, they do, and we get to meet Kate Bishop and everything. And the guy Matt Fraction is the comic writer. The guy who's been writing the Hawkeye comic and got Kate Bishop being his protege. That's a very popular comic, and he's also consulting on this show. Mm-hmm. And there's one little this week. I don't want to spoil it, but there was one instance that we were waiting for to go. Yes. Yeah. It's like yes, it finally happened. And a lot of people. There has been this rumor that since Spider-Man No Way Home will be out this coming week, that they may have an event planned for Hawkeye to give us as much of a wow for Disney Plus people as well as people who are already going to go see Spidey No Way Out. Apparently it's going to be, they're saying episode 5 will be break the internet. So I don't know if it actually will or not, but I'm hoping that we do get some of the stuff that we think we see clues to, but we haven't quite seen yet. But yeah, I'm enjoying the heck out of it, and I like the fact that they keep needling Hawkeye about branding him and actually getting a costume.
Right. Yeah. That's a lot of fun.
Right. He might be right. Oh yeah, and the thing all about the trick arrows too. So, that's my recommendation on that one.
When the rest of the podcast crew decided they couldn't make it to record, I don't know if they realized that giving just the two of us an episode meant that we could talk about Marvel. That might have been a dangerous move on their part. Because, yeah, that's Now, I know you see movies super early. Have you seen Spider-Man?
Not yet. But okay. There is one tidbit. I have heard, hopefully I'll get it right at this, there have been press screenings where they will only show the first 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, they do not want any spoilers. I guess they're still mad about, I don't know, maybe they're still mad about that Forbes guy who did Avengers Infinity War. I don't know, but it might be on that scale of whatever the heck is going to happen, will happen in this film. But yeah, they're like, no, no, you are not getting anything. You are getting nothing that's going to really screw this up for us. So Kevin Feige, he's playing his cards close to the vest, puts that stuff down. He's going to be like, yeah, draw 2. A little red 2. He's going to be hit there with that damn draw 4. Bam! And that's going to break us. Like, damn. He's got my damn soul again.
Yeah, they've sure got that formula down. They have got us forever.
So yes. We can't wait till next week. We can't wait.
Yeah. So this is gonna sound like I'm bragging. I'm going on vacation to Hawaii tomorrow.
Nice.
Which is nice. But the island that I'm going to, Kauai, which is beautiful, has one movie theater on the entire island, and they have like one movie at a time and only a few screenings here and there. No. And so I'm not going to see Spider-Man on opening night. I have to wait until the week after. So that sucks. But, I can't complain too much. I'm going to be hanging out on the beach. So.
Yay. Well, okay. It's the trade-off. I am happy for you.
So everyone shut up. Don't give me any spoilers, please.
I haven't heard anything. Other than there's a trailer, and that's it.
But from like, I don't know, Thursday to Monday, I'm going to have to like really avoid everything. Hopefully I'll be able to see it like, I don't know, the following Tuesday or Wednesday after I get back.
I cross my fingers for you, brother. I cross my fingers for you.
Also, we mentioned briefly since I was talking about the first Spider-Verse movie being masterpiece, best superhero movie ever.
Agreed.
And totally deserved to win Best Animated Feature. I was very happy that they did not just give that to a Disney Pixar movie that year, because Spider-Verse definitely deserved it. But yeah, the first little teaser for what has been revealed to be part 1 of the next movie, Across the Spider-Verse, came out, and it looks awesome as expected. But just in the vein of the stuff we're talking about, I want to give a shout out to Haley Steinfeld, who is playing Kate Bishop in Hawkeye. She is Gwen Stacy in the Spider-Verse movies, and she is the lead voice actress in Arcane. So
good God.
She is running circles around this nerd industry.
Good God, man. More power to her. I definitely.
Yeah, she's doing great, and she's like, I don't know, she's like 24 or something. Yeah.
Oh my God. So the nerd future is bright for this kid.
Yeah.
It definitely is. Well, so what else do we want to talk about? Do we want to end and everything, or anything else big that we got?
Yeah, I mean, we've covered almost everything. Gintama, the final.
How was it?
It was great. I mean, I love Gintama, and this was actually the finale of the entire series, and I got to see it in the theater, and it was awesome. So I was very happy that all of that fell into place. I will certainly be talking about that movie more in just a few weeks when we do a Best of the Year countdown. But yeah, very happy I got to see it. And if you've watched 367 episodes of Kingdom, then you'll love it.
Oh, well, I have to go learn about this show then. I'll have to study up.
Yeah, it was, number 9 on my top anime of all time, the series overall, so.
Okay. Bad, bro.
Yeah, highly recommended.
Let's see.
And then, we've got my, 15 shows that I'm watching this season, which I'm sure we'll talk about much more after I get back from vacation, and we do probably the last episode of the year where we cover the end of that season, since we've only talked about it on one episode so far. But are you watching anything that's airing currently?
No, right now I'm still trying to catch up on a couple. So I just finished CSI Vegas, man. I'm still trying to catch up on stuff piece by piece. I got to finish Blade Runner, the last episode. I'm slightly behind on some things.
So you're watching Blade Runner? That's a current show, then?
Yeah. Although, I kind of like it. I'm enjoying it. I'm a longtime fan of, I saw the original Harrison Ford flick when I was a kid in the theater, this little kid. So, yes, folks, I'm ancient. Okay, I'll probably drop dead next year. Nice knowing y'all. But
hey now,
don't worry, Kestrel. I'll give you some of my cartoons. I'll will them to you. Send this to Vermont. All right.
Yeah.
But Black Lotus has been a nice series so far. I like that they do add some little nuances from the previous one. I love seeing the boy cop test come back. The whole identification thing that for a long time Blade Runner fans don't know what that one is. That's what. Yeah, but I like as far as full on anime. I got I want to finish Stone. I want to start Stone Ocean, and and also I'm sorry, this is American animation, but they dropped recently the second half of Masters of the Universe, which everybody's driving me nuts about what happens, and I'm like, dang it, I love the first half, so I'm looking forward to actually getting a chance to sit and watch that. So,
I have no association with that property, but they did try to market it as anime for a time there, which it is definitely not.
Yeah. Netflix has a very funny definition on that. After that extremely... Okay, look, there was a documentary that Netflix put together about a couple years back about what anime is. No. Do not watch this thing. If you're serious about being an anime fan, do not watch it. If you have some popcorn and just need to laugh at something, feel free. But this was not a good documentary at all. And that is from every recognized person that actually knows about Japanese animation. No one likes it. So, yeah. So, sorry, Netflix. We had to rag on you a little bit on that one. Yeah. But you got good stuff.
Watch Arcane on Netflix.
Watch Arcane. Yes, Arcane. Yes.
Although also Netflix, stopping your stuff from getting released on Blu-ray. I want Arcane on Blu-ray. I want Our Planet on Blu-ray. Please stop being Netflix.
I want Devilman Crybaby on Blu-ray too.
Yeah, I mean, at least with anime, they're starting to get more sub-licenses for home media. Arcane might have a decent chance, but they're real Netflix originals. They rarely ever do. Stranger Things was a big outlier because it's their biggest hit, but most of them don't get Blu-rays. Hopefully one day.
Well,
but yeah, JoJo, I did watch all 12 episodes that have been released.
Oh, dude, how is it?
Yeah, it's great. Of course, it's great. I'm curious what's gonna happen with the release pattern, because I think it is supposed to start airing on Japanese TV at the beginning of January. So I don't know if we're gonna get 12 episodes every 3 months. I assume the TV broadcast is going to be a normal TV broadcast, so by the beginning of April, it'll be episodes that haven't been released on Netflix. So I don't know if they're going to continue releasing them in chunks on Netflix first, or if, I don't know what's going to happen. I assume that's what's going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm definitely looking forward to more. I like watching weekly for a lot of series. I did not mind having 12 new episodes of JoJo to watch, but now it's going to be rough waiting 3 months for more, assuming it's only 3 months. So, yeah. At least it wasn't Netflix jail, which is when, Netflix just licenses a series that's airing on Japanese TV and doesn't show it for months. At least that seems to be going away, because Netflix is doing 2 weekly simulcasts, in quotes, this season. They are delayed like a week or 2 each, which sucks. But at least it's not
months on
3 to 6 months, which is what they did before. So, at least they're moving in the right direction very slowly, unforgivably slowly, you could say, because they have all the resources in the world, and every company that does not have those resources has been doing this for over a decade just fine. So there's no reason it shouldn't be happening. But at least JoJo is not that. Like, it premiered simultaneously worldwide on December 1st, the first 12 episodes.
And broke the internet.
Yeah, of course. Like, 12 episodes of JoJo drop at once. Like, can you imagine? It's insane.
I still haven't... And when it comes to JoJo's, though, I still haven't recovered from the fact that one of their songs is Jodeci's Freaking You. Man, in the 90s, we used to... I think it was... What was the name of that? Diary of a Mad Band. That was the name of the album. And we were like, okay, well, people going to go do their bedroom activities. And then way the hell later, what the hell is this? No, they are not using this song. No.
I'm sure it was like leaked places, and I probably could have seen posts online after the episode first aired and people were talking about it. But I guess it would do a pretty good job of avoiding spoilers for most things. So I haven't really been spoiled on any new JoJo endings, which is good. So yeah, when I watched, I don't think they ever have it in episode 1, but when I came home from work that Friday and watched episode 2 of Golden Wind, and at the end, it's just... Every time I close my eyes, I wake up feeling so horny. I'm like, whoa, JoJo, let's go.
My mind just can't process it, man. Just,
I mean, it's appropriate, right? Because one of the guys from Jodeci is named JoJo.
Yes,
so.
it is. Yes, it is.
You got that.
JoJo, Casey, Bate, yeah. Oh my god!
Have you heard about the opening of Stone Ocean?
No, I mean I know people were kind of freaking out about that more than they were the ending. What happened at the opening?
Yeah, so the ending, obviously it's a Western song as always. It's not a particularly like well known or action packed song. It's like Stardust Crusaders, the second season, where it just had like, a real mellow little jazz guitar tune. It's not quite that chill or unremarkable, but it's not like the kind of JoJo ending, like, roundabout, walk like an Egyptian, freaking you. But the opening, they finally returned to Kamikaze Doga, who did the first 3-4 openings. And they did the first short of Star Wars Visions.
Really? Okay.
And they did Batman Ninja. So I think they did a bunch of work on the JoJo video games that have come out in the past, 10 years or so. So they have their very distinctive CG style that's ultra stylized and like the one time that you watch something and you're like, thank God this is CG. This looks amazing.
Wow.
So they finally got them back. So it's back to the style of the first 4 JoJo openings.
Okay.
And it is crazy stylized and amazing.
Oh, okay, now you got me going. Oh, I must not do it. I must not add to my queue. Must not add to my queue. No. Finish everything else first. Therapist told me to be good.
Yeah, Stone Ocean's real good so far. I look forward to more, and David Production is just like on their A game all the time with JoJo now. Because early days it was a little rough at times, but clearly that JoJo money has been put to good use, and like Part 5 all the way through was an incredible adaptation, and Part 6 is going real strong too. I think the storytelling is really strong in this one too. So yeah, I like it a lot, and I just cannot wait for Part 7 Steel Ball Run, because I have been hearing for so many years that Part 7 of the JoJo manga is literally one of the greatest manga of all time.
Oh, wow.
So with that, combined with David Productions' standard of quality for JoJo adaptations that they've reached at this point, I cannot wait.
Okay.
So excited. So hopefully not too many years before that, but I mean, they're catching up. It's only 2 more parts after this that they have to adapt.
I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, bro. And I got to go do some catching up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What else is going on? Anything else exciting, or should it be like just chill and go get food?
Yeah, I should probably eat. We can wrap this one up. Do you have any other recommendations? I'll reiterate that everyone should go on Netflix and watch Arcane, and if they ever release it on Blu-ray, buy the Blu-ray. And I guess as a second recommendation, I'll add that the Demon Slayer movie, Mugen Train, is finally being released on Blu-ray in the US near the end of December, so go grab that. They've got a fancy limited edition, as always, and, it's an Aniplex limited edition, so it is very expensive, but it's only a movie, so it's under $100, so,
thank goodness.
Not as bad. Yeah, so, of course I'm getting that. But yeah, it looks great. So, and it's a great movie. I'm glad that they did the TV adaptation so that people could catch up on the story before the next arc started. But it does play out a lot better in movie form. So definitely still check out the movie, which I guess that's streaming everywhere too. So you don't have to buy it. But anyway, buy that, and again, watch Arcane, because Arcane is the best.
I think my only other recommendation, it's a couple geared toward the old schoolers. Macross Plus Movie Edition will be in theaters on the 14th. If you've not picked up tickets now, you definitely should. If you've never seen it, if you're a newer fan, you can go into this one cold. It tells a complete story. But old school fans, we've been like waiting for this since mid to late 90s to see this particular property on a big screen. It's a fantastic work. And
how does the movie edition compare to the OVA? Because I've only seen the OVA.
Okay. I don't think what I'm going to say will really spoil it. 2 things that are distinctly stand out. Like, a lot of scenes are rearranged, but one scene is not there anymore. I will warn you all of this. The opening scene where the main character is fighting Zentradi, and that's the reason he gets kicked out of his assignment. That particular scene is gone. When the movie starts up, he's already at the test flight base. The other is that you're going to see this character named Gold go up against a fighter, and it's this particular dogfight is the movie edition is longer and it's better handled, as all I can really say. I don't think that's really a spoiler. Those are the 2 biggest differences. Everything else is more or less relatively the same.
And I will mention, you kind of brought this up earlier, but Macross Plus is most notable to me for forming the team that would go on to create Cowboy Bebop. It has the same director, the same writer, and the same composer.
Yeah.
And the OVA version stars Bryan Cranston in the dub, which is interesting.
Yes, Eisenberg.
Back when he was an anime voice actor.
Yes, Eisenberg is your lead character. Go listen to him. Yes. Go listen to him. Hopefully hopefully now with this whole Macross being rights being finally formalized, we can actually get a Blu-ray of that now. Yeah. Cross fingers on that. So that's something to look forward to. Also on the 13th, Discotech Media is about to do their town hall, and they're going to announce new licenses. And since apparently 50% of Right Stuff Anime's purchases are Discotech stuff, I'm pretty darn certain this is going to be of interest to a lot of Blu-ray collectors. Mm-hmm. So that's something to look forward to. So that's it from my end.
Nice. All right. Well, you can find Fandom Post Radio anywhere you find podcasts. Please subscribe, rate, and review anywhere that you find us. Mm-hmm. So we are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Facebook Podcasts. We have an Alexa skill. We are on iHeartRadio. You can find our episodes posted on fandompost.com. Mm-hmm. You can follow us on social media on Facebook and Twitter at Fandom Post Radio. Please do so. Get in contact with us. Share our stuff. And you can also get in contact with us via email at fandompostradio@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. And I'm on Twitter at FullMetalKioma.
And I'm on Facebook and Twitter. Just look for Darius Washington 999 or D Washington 999. I can't remember. Oh, and also I did write an article about the LA Film Festival I went to, where I reviewed a lot of the films that we talked about today, and got a lot of some interviews and some insights from Mr. Hosoda as well as a few other people. So you might want to check that out as well. That's also on the Fandom Post website. And that's about it. I'm going to finish writing up about Anime NYC right now.
I suppose you could also find me on Facebook if you care to. But my name's Kestrel Swift.
Yay! And I'm
all right. Thank you all for joining us. We'll have another episode hopefully in the next couple weeks and be able to talk about some more of fall season. Since, like I said, I'm watching 15 shows and we've barely talked about the season at all on the podcast. So we'll be back at some point with that. So till next time, see ya.
Take care, guys.